Hey, welcome back to Mill. My name's Bill. This is Private Solutions Forestry, and I'll show you a little bit of what we're getting into today. All of a sudden, the freaks have come out of the woodwork. You have orders pouring in. I think it was everybody was kind of waiting for the hot weather to get out of here, which is good data for me to understand my business. That if the middle of the summertime is going to be kind of dead, it'll be time to do other things. And now that the weather's kind of broken, it's cooled down into the low 50s at night. During the day, it's 70s, low 70s, high 60s. I think it's supposed to get a little warmer this weekend, but what's happened is that orders have started pouring in. So no rest for the weary here. I got Danny with me today. I'll show you him in a second. I did finish up the fence order yesterday, all 40 of them, plus I have 6 extras for them. Now, the way that I do this is that typically when somebody says they need 40 1x8s, or 1x6s in this case, by 8 feet long, typically I cut them the 40 in boards that I think will be okay for what they do. So if there's a little bit of weight on them, I might leave them. And then based on what I have lying around and based on what I've cut, because usually you never get to the exact number. So usually you have a little bit extra lying around and flitches and stuff like that. I usually cut them a few extra boards and just give it to them. So they're getting more than what they asked for. And basically that's to replace anything that I cut that maybe they don't think is good. So I have 6 extra here. Some of them are 1x6s, some of them are 1x5 3/4. Regardless, I have 6 extras. Now, this is a friend of mine, so typically I plan on just giving them the extra. And sometimes they'll throw me a little bit extra money too. So let's say that the bill's $360. Sometimes they'll come with $380 or even $400 and just give it to me and say, keep the change. But in this particular case, I have 40 boards that are 1x6 and over 8. Few of them, very few of them, have a little bit of weight on them. And I have 6 extras that will definitely make it so that he can finish what he's working on, which leads us to today. So it just so happened that today I got an order for a shed build, and I have the timber frame order to cut too. The order for the shed build, ironically enough, has 41 by 6s on it. Some of them by 8, some of them by 10, but that would have probably done them for that. So I have 4x4s to cut, 2x8s to cut, 4x4s by 8, 2x8s by 10, 1x6s by 8, 1x6s by 10, 20 of each of those. So I want to get started on this. He told me sometime in the next 2 weeks. And also, guys, listen, if you come to a sawmill and you order lumber, rough sawn lumber, don't tell us what your final dimension is unless you are ordering it a specific way and then saying, this is my drop dead number. It can't be any shorter than. Don't ever give us that number. So when somebody orders an 8-foot long board from me, I'm going to give it to them at 8'6" if I can. Sometimes it's 8'3". Sometimes I grab a log and it's 8'3" and it's perfect, and I might just cut it. You need to let us know either what your drop dead number is or what you really want. Because this particular customer, when I threw this first log up, I cut it at 10'6". I'll show you why. And I shot him a message and I said, hey, are these your drop dead numbers, or are these what you want this lumber to come out like? Because he thinks that he's getting board foot wise an 8-footer, but they're not going to be. They're going to be like 8'6", unless he told me that 8 foot would work, or maybe 7'8" would work. I need them 7'8", but I'm asking for 8-footers because that gives me some flexibility in the log that I choose. What if I get a log that's 7'11", right? That's no good for an 8-footer. But if it was 7'6", then it would be good. So you need to be specific about what you ask for, because when I contacted him back, he's like, no, the numbers I sent you are my drop dead numbers. I need everything so I can cut them down to that, the 8s and the 10s and everything. I'm not sure that I totally believe that that's a necessity, but he told me those were his drop dead numbers. So I need to cut them over. I can't cut them at 8 foot. I have to cut them at 8'6", 8'2", 8'3", 8'4". But regardless, so always go over, let's just say 6 inches, round number. What you need plus 6 inches. But so we have this new order that just came in, and then the ongoing timber frame order. And since he's got his base now and he's got to pour his pilings and get his base to another location with this big heavy wood and everything, he's going to be out a little bit and then cut his joinery and all that stuff. So I have time on the timber frame order to continue cutting that. But what I want to do is, as I load logs up, when I start thinking about my bonus material in those logs, I can take into consideration the timber frame order as well. So my first order of business is going to be to cut this guy's shed. And if, let's say, I ended up with a 14-inch cant and I've got to make a decision over 4 inches or so, I can go ahead and look at the timber frame order and see if I need a 4 by something, which I do need 4 by 5s. I need 7 by 8, 7 by 8, 7 by 7s, 5 by 5s, 4 by 5s, and a 3 by 5. So I can keep that in the back of my mind as I'm cutting for what I'm going to do with my bonus material. Now, the shed order needs a lot of 1 by material. So my thought process immediately, unless I have a big chunk, my thought process immediately is going to be to cut all my bonus material at 1 inch thick, so it can be edged off later into 6-inch width pieces, because I need 40 of those. Rather than just spending a day just cutting them, I can get through probably a lot of them before I even get to that point. So we're going to try to cut the hard to cut timbers. I mean, the hard to cut. The ones that are most size restrictive first. So the first ones, I see the 2x8's by 10 foot long. This log, I think, is going to cant out around 11 inches. And that's going to be perfect for 2x8's. If I have to give him, let's say, if I have to give him 1 7/8 and not deduct for the kerf, it's not going to make any difference whatsoever. So I'll make those decisions as I go. But what my goal is going to be is to throw a log up at a specific length, get it to as big a cant as I can, and then make it work into either one of these as I cut it out, with the shed being the priority. So I think this one's going to end up being 2x8's, because there's no way I'm going to get a 16-inch cant out of it. So I don't want to do 4x4s. And also the 4x4s are only 8 feet long. So I'd like to find some smaller logs to maybe cut them out of. And then all the bonus material, if I can make it 1 inch. If I concentrate on making all his 1 inch material 10 foot plus, then that covers everything as I go. So it's kind of the way my brain works there. So 2x8's, I think, is what this is going to be. I could cut timber frame out of it, but this seems to be a little bit more of a priority, and we'll just take timber frame stuff out of it as we go. So that's what's going on. Sorry to be long-winded. There's Danny. Hey, Danny. Danny's in trouble, and he knows it. You can see it on his face. Hi, Danny. Hey, Danny. So Danny has been on the hunt today. He chased some turkeys. He went in the building next door. He went through our hedge and went over there into their yard. I took him for a walk, and he wanted to go off in the woods. He's doing very odd, weird things today that are, I'm all for dogs being free. That's kind of my thing, but my wife is not. So I cannot allow him to be like that, or she will catch me. So we're going to get in a saw on this thing. We're going to try to get it in as big a can as we can. It's about 16 inches on this end. Cant's out at 11 plus. And we'll get in as big a cant as we can. And I am still running the same Stellicut band that I was running yesterday. I'm going to run it till it starts getting wavy. And once we get into a cant, we'll figure out what we can do with it, what makes the most sense, and then that's what we'll blast out. Unless it becomes blatantly obvious as we go. And I have not found where that screw goes that I found on the ground yesterday. No idea yet. I've looked all over this mill. I have no idea where it came from. So let's get at it. Get my tape measure on my hip here. So I'll show you. This log took a real weird sweep at 10 foot. I could have cut it off at 8 and had a nice real straight log. It's still pretty good at 10.6, so I think I can get my full dimension at 10.6. That's why I cut it off there. It just went like a banana right here and had a big rot spot at the end of it. So the other thing that I am going to have to do is, as bugs walking on me, as I cut, because I have so much different stuff going on, I am going to have to tag everything. Who it's for, its size. So right now we're looking at 16, 15. It's like 15 maybe. 15 is going to be pretty much a skim cut. Yeah, looks like I'm going to take it off at 15 and we'll go from there. Log's pretty clean. It's debarked. So a couple little spots of dirt, but nothing serious. Yeah, we're at 15. What? Just to let you know, it seems kind of random, but when you do set these numbers that you're cutting everything at, if you do keep them at a round number, if you can, kind of makes it easier to remember them rather than me being at like 14 and 3/16 and then have to go back and figure out where I was. It does make it a little bit easier to try to keep in the round numbers and then be able to work off that. At least my experience. So it's a total miss at 15. I think I'm just going to drop the 14. Actually, glad I did. I'm glad I dropped the 14. I'm going to go ahead and take a 1-inch flitch off it. I think I have 6 inches here. I do. It's real close. So I'll just take a 1-inch flitch off it. So we'll go down to 12 and 7/8. I think I just hit 2 nails. I think I hit 2 nails on that pass. First nails I've hit in quite a while, I think. Made that nail kind of sound. The band still kept cutting great, but we'll check it out. Keep my flitches up here to recut later, or to resaw later. And because I have my fencing order up here, it's kind of in the way. Paul, come get it. Those will get edged later. Let's see if I hit something. No, it was just, oh, yep, hit 2 nails. Yep, damn it. I don't know what's going on here. There's 2 nails in there for sure. This does have a little rot spot in the end of it. It doesn't go very far. Oh, yeah, it's teeny. It won't be a problem. We are going to have to pull these 2 nails out. Damn it. It didn't seem to mess that band at all. It did start making lines, but still cut fine. Even after over 1,000 board feet. That's pretty good. I'm going to pause you guys while I get my tools out. We got to pull these nails out so I don't hit them again. And we will go on with this process. All right, so I'll show you the 2 nails that I hit. Oh, camera shadow's right in the way. So there's this one here and this one here. There's also some weird discoloration here, which leads me to believe that this might not be the end of the party. I am going to see if I can get you guys in here so you can watch what I'm doing. I'm going to pull these 2 out. We'll get back on to cutting here. Hopefully, if I do hit any more nails, they're going to be like these 2 because they did not cause a problem at all with that band. At least not really. You can see a few ridges, but this band was already getting the end of its life anyway. So what I like to do is I like to dig out around the nail just with a screwdriver like this. Or whatever it is. Sometimes it's a screw. If it'll come right out. If I can just get enough exposed to snap a pair of vice grips on it, then we'll just pull it right out. And yeah, these are not very big nails. Do the least amount of damage I can to the board here. Oh, damn it. I don't have a hammer with me. Cut my little trailers off here. I can probably get on this now. Okay. So there's one of them. It's been in there a while. It's got some serious corrosion on it. Same thing here. We'll just pull out the fibers to the side. Both sides. Typically I have a hammer with me too, and I just beat this in and cut that chunk off. That I should be able to get on this now. They don't pull right out. Either they're like monsters or they're screws. So there's the 2 nails. That's all I use to get them out. I haven't really damaged this timber all that bad. We're going to keep going. Hopefully that is the last that we see of nails, but I got a sneaking suspicion that it's not. So I'm going to pause you guys again, get you back in place, and we'll flip it, and I'll bring you back after it's flipped over, and we go on to the next side. All right, so I did the man thing, flipped it over. I love working with white pine, especially debarked white pines. It rolls so nice and easy. I think this cut's going to be around 11. We'll take a look. So we'll start at 11 there, and we'll see what that looks like. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. We're going to take it off right there. There is an outside possibility. Well, I wouldn't say so. Looking at the end here, I was going to say there's an outside possibility. There's a 1x6 in this, but I don't think so. So we're just going to chuck it, flip it on its side. So we know we're 11 high right now, which 11 high, that works out good to get all my 2x8s if I need to. I do have a little bit of an issue here. There's a swell on this part of the log, so that could cause a problem. Oh no, it's going to be past the bump. Never mind. Now, my more square one is this one, so I'm just going to pull that one up. I think this one's square too. The other buck is the other stop is, the holder's damaged. It's not really square, so we're going to start here, get this thing squared up. Hopefully. Oh, gotta find my square. Find my square. My square is missing. And that did not affect it at all. Actually, it's sitting beautifully right now. Okay, I gotta go more over. You know, in a perfect world, it's gonna stop right on the stops like that right there. It's perfect right now. If I don't move anything, I'm good. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Top cut's going to be, it's around 15 here. 15 kind of works there. And it's showing maybe 14 here. Oh, get that slug out of there. Go by, Mr. Slug. Go do your thing. 15 looks a little high there. Yeah, I'm going to cut it at 14. Oh, get it flipped all the way over. And then we'll make an assessment. This band's still cutting pretty good for having hit those nails. Becoming more and more impressed with those Stellite bands for pine as I go along with them. I don't know if I would run them. I don't like them in hardwood, but I really like them in pine. So we'll get this thing flipped all the way over, and then we'll make an assessment of how we're going to cut it. It's good with pine because it's so easy to flip that it doesn't really matter. Even if you had to flip it 180 degrees, it's not like it's a big deal. And we're going to get our stops down perfectly square. And get them down, say, below 4, maybe the 3, something to bump this against. I don't need to go all the way down yet because I am still going to have to flip it. So keep it kind of around 3. Try not to shove the thing off the mill. And see how close to what I thought we were going to get for a cant. I think we're going to maybe be over just a hair, but it won't be wane free. Probably one dog's good. And this cut's going to be somewhere around 12. 12 works here. 12 works here. I think it's going to be a 12. So we'll kind of hit our cant pretty much right on the number what we thought it was going to be. I need to, typically right now, if I wasn't worried about waste or anything, I'd just cut this at what I needed. So I need, how many of those 2x8s? Oh, I need 10 of them. 6 of them. So we need 12 and 5/8. Let's check our width right now. And that's to do it at, all right, so we're too thin this way. So we would never get them out of this. We can still get them out of this dimension. If I cut this at 12, figure out where the most wane is, peel some off the sides, get this to an 8-inch cant. If I get it to 12, I could cut them on inch dimensions and get all 6. I just won't get them 2 inches thick. They'll be 1 7/8. So let's go ahead and try and cut it at 12 here. All right, we're getting there. Our goal now, because we're at 12, is to get ourselves to 8. So I do have a little bit of wane here, a little bit of wane on the bottom, a little bit of wane here. I'm just going to take a look at the log real quick, figure out where most of my wane is. It's pretty even on both sides, and I don't think it's going to be a problem. And also, because we're 12 wide, we get 2 1x6s out of the flitches. So just looking at it, we might as well keep cranking. We're going to flip it 180, take a 1 inch out. What am I at, 11? I'm at, yeah, basically 11. So if I take an inch, an inch, and an inch, or I take a 3, does a 3x12 help me? Nah, it doesn't help me get rid of the wane. So right now we're 12 by 11, which is where we thought we were going to be. I have a nice 11 written right here, which is what I thought it was going to be. What about a 3 by, let's see what I got on my list. You guys won't be able to see me, but you can hear me. So I have 3 by 5 by 10. Ooh, I need one of those collar ties for the timber frame. That is not a horrible idea. The only problem with doing that is I'm giving them the wane, giving the other customer the wane, which is not a problem, I don't think. just so I don't mess up. So I'm 12 here and 11 here. So I could get a 10-foot collar tie out of the timber frame order. No, nope, no, I'm not. He's already got that other collar tie. I just don't have it marked off. All right. So I take it back. Never mind. I gave him an extra piece of wood that I thought would work for a collar tie because the collar ties are kind of universal. It doesn't make any sense to try to cut one. So I think I'm just going to shave off inches here to get myself to 8. Hopefully we don't roll it off the mill. Slide back. Come on. Here we go. There we go. I think I'm going to take an inch off the top. Showing 11 perfect. I think I'm just going to come down to 10. Take an inch off. It's going to give him 7/8 instead of 10. Now, I think I'm going to come to 9 7/8, and then it messes me up if I do that. I think I'm just going to come to 10. Go, 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 go. Take this one off. This is going to be 2 1x6s. With a teeny little bit of wane. Now we have no wane on the side. We're going to flip it over. All the way over. Okay, I'm going to take 1 inch off this side. We were at 10, we're going to go to 9. These are like 7/8, but you'll never notice that 8. Now we'll go back and we'll cut it at 8. Make sure we have 8 high. And we'll flip it on its side and mill it out. Just going to check that height, make sure that's perfect. Huh, really close. Really close, just a hair over. Let me take a look at my scale here, make sure I'm on 8. Yeah, I'm on 8. So we will get these two off. These are going to get edged into 1x6s. It did make a funny noise in the middle, like I might have hit another nail. I'll take a look. Band's still cutting beautiful. So right now we have about 6, 7 of his 1x6s here out of the 40. And our height overall is 12 and an eighth. That works out great. 12 and an eighth, 12 and an eighth, 12 and an eighth. So it works out really good. What we'll end up doing is we're just going to split inches for a minute. Get this thing up on the end here. There's no wane on them now. I'm going to cut this whole thing out. Need to get these down below 2. So let's just say a little over an inch. Probably can just drop this one out of the way. Same thing here. Drop this one down just below 2. Get this thing clamped off. We will drop on inch scale all the way down. That one's not at 2. I don't know what I was looking at, but this ain't it. Huh. Yeah, it says it is. All right. So let's start cutting 2x8s. Yeah, I can put them up there, I guess. So we're going to come up to, it's like pretty much 12 here. So she's going to cut them on inch mark. I mean, on the inch mark. So cut the first one at 10. Width on 2x material doesn't matter. It's actually easier if it's thinner. Okay, go up 2, 1, 2.5-ish. I'm going to drop to 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and come back, drop to 6. Okay, up 7. We'll see if we can drop a 4 and take one more cut. Then we only have to pull one board off to finish. Yep. Pull one board off. I gotta take it all the way off though. Can't pull it off this way because then it will hit. So let's go ahead and bring it back and go down to 2, 3. We'll go down to 2 and make our last cut. It actually works out better if you don't cut it full 2-inch dimension, to be honest with you. On 12 inch, you could get an extra whole board out of it if you only cut 3 inches for every 2. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Get this out of here. 2x8's are done. So what I'm going to do to try to stay ahead of this order, the 2x8's are done. They band cut beautiful. I'll show you even after hitting the metal. I'll show you the crisp, clean edges. There's no wave in them at all. This band is well over 1,000 board feet now. Still cutting great, and to hit metal. You guys got to see. So I'm going to show you down this edge here, even on these wide cuts, because these were wide cuts, like 12 inches. Look at how clean that edge is. No wave in it at all. Yeah, this one's got some raggy things sticking out, but still no wave in it. It's cutting. This band is still cutting great. So I'm going to cut another log with it. I have to pick another log, but before I do any of that, I got to get a place to put all this stuff. So I think what I'm going to do is pull Paul Hunt's fence boards off here and go put them somewhere till he comes and gets them, so that I can utilize my sawhorses to keep all the stock as I'm cutting during the day off his order. But you know, we got one chunk done, 2x8's. I would like to find a log, an 8-foot log that will cant out at 16 inches. So I could cut, no, I don't need 16 inches. I'm wrong. I'm flat wrong. I need a 8-foot log that'll cant out at 8 inches so I can cut 4 4x4s out of it. What was I thinking? This numbers in my head. Yeah, that'll be easy. I'm going to try and find an 8-foot log that'll cant out at 8 inches to cut his 4x4s out of. That's going to be somewhere. So 12 inches cants out to 12 times 7 is 70, and 14 is 84. So it's got to be like 14-inch log. 14-inch at 8 foot long. I should be able to get all 4 4x4s out of it, plus some bonus 1-inch material. So that's kind of what I'm going looking for next. I want to use up my 8-foot logs because I have a bunch of them. And to be honest with you, I almost never, ever get anybody asking for 8-foot lumber. It's always bigger than that. They always want 16, 20, 18, 24. It's almost never 8 feet. So hopefully, if I can find a log quick, I'll run another video today. We'll do his 4x4s too. Get those out of the way, and then all we got to do is cut 1x material. That'd be kind of cool. We get this order done today and tomorrow. So for now, for myself, for Danny, for our 2x8s, for Chip, that's who this order is going to. Mechanix gloves, still no holes, working great. They sent me some gear. Thank you, Mechanix, and gear for my wife. I think this Pirate Solution's out.